SkeetchUp was created in August 2000 as a 3D content creation tool and was envisioned as a software program for design professionals. Formerly Google SkeetchUp, it is a 3D modeling computer program for a wide range of drawing applications such as architectural, interior design, landscape architecture, civil and mechanical engineering, film and video game design. Navigating the home screen. After installing SkeetchUp Viewer, you're all ready to launch the application and start viewing models. The home screen is your navigation hub, so let's take a look at what's available and how to get around. Moving the cursor and selecting items. The key to navigating the home screen is using your cursor. The cursor is a little red dot that follows your controller. To select an item, press your mouse button. SkeetchUp screen. Drawing and editing tools. These tools create geometry, line, arc, rectangle, etc. Construction objects, measure and protractor. And enable object manipulation, move, push-pull, rotate, etc. Drawing axes. When you open a file, the model contains a set of red, green, and blue axes. These are equivalent to the X, Y, Z axes used in traditional CAD software. You can turn off their display by selecting View, Axes, and the Axes tool can be used to relocate and reorient the axes. Status prompts. This area serves two purposes. When you hover the cursor over a tool, a description of the tool appears here. When you are using a tool, this area displays the relevant prompts such as, select start point or enter value. Value Control Box, VCB. This box is used either to enter values or to display numerical information. If you are using a tool that can take numerical input, such as line length or number of copies, all you have to do is type the number and press enter, and the value appears in the VCB. If you are using a tool such as a measure or protractor, the length or angle being measures appears in the VCB. Stacking windows. These are windows you might want to keep open as you work. They can be made to stick to one another and you can keep them minimized while you work. Toolbars, menus, and icons. This is the menu and the main menu toolbar you'll see when first opening the SkeetchUp. Here you can access most, if not all, the drawing and editing tools you'll be using. Toolbars. From the menu that appears, click any toolbars you want to see. Once displayed, you can move toolbars to different locations by clicking and dragging their title bars around the screen. Keyboard shortcuts. If you look at the menus, you can see the shortcuts listed next to each tool. To use the shortcut, just press the letter or key on the keyboard. If you want to change a shortcut to a different key or set a shortcut for a tool that doesn't have a shortcut, choose Windows and click Preferences. Viewing tools. As you create a model in 3D, you need to view it from all sides. In SkeetchUp, you orbit, zoom and pan all the time as you draw. Orbit. Orbiting is like holding an object and turning it around. Zoom. Zoom in to focus on a specific area as you draw, and zoom out to see more of your model. Pan. Panning means sliding your view up or down, left or right. Look around. Pivots the camera around a stationary point, representing a person standing still and looking side to side or up and down. This tool is helpful when viewing the interior of a model. Walk. Enables you to move around in a model as a simulation of walking. Drawing tools. All of SkeetchUp's drawing and editing tools are available from the main menu, and/or the main toolbar across the top of the screen. Most of these can be activated by a shortcut key. Select. You need to select objects before the objects can be moved, copied, and scaled. You can also use Select to erase objects. Select then press the Delete key. When you activate Select and click on an object, it will be highlighted. Line. This tool draw lines, also known in SkeetchUp as edges. If you're finished making lines but the tool has started a new line, press the Escape key. Rectangle. To draw a rectangle, click one corner and then click the opposite corner. If you want to draw a square, wait to see the square pop up before clicking the second corner point. Square and golden section. Simply activate rectangle and start drawing. SkeetchUp lets you know when the cursor is in a position to create a square. If you click when you see the indicator, you'll create a square. Push and pull. Push-pull is what makes SkeetchUp so unique and easy to use. Simply put, it takes a face and make a 3D assembly of faces. Freehand. It used to create freehand sketches. Circle. To draw a circle, first click the center point, then click an outside point. To set the number of sides, activate circle, and then immediately type the number of sides you want and press enter. Arc. There are 3 ways to draw an arc. 2-point arc, arc and pie. Polygon. When you first activate polygon, before clicking any points, you'll see the number of sides listed in the slides box, located by default below the SkeetchUp window. If you want a different number of sides, type the number and press enter. Eraser. This tool erases edges or lines. To erase more than one edge, you can click on each edge separately, or you can keep the left mouse button pressed while you drag the mouse over the edges you want to erase. Move. This tool is used for both moving and copying. First select what you want to move. Then click a start point and end point for the move. Rotate. This tool is used for both rotating and copying. First select what you want to rotate. Then the protractor appears, place this at the center of rotation. Then click a start point and end point for the rotation. Paint bucket. This is the tool you use to paint faces. When you click it, the materials window opens. There are several collections of solid colors and materials available. To paint a face, click the color square you want to use, then click the face. Measure. This tool has 3 purposes: to measure distance, to scale an entire model, and to create construction lines. Protractor. This tool has 2 basic purposes: to create angled construction lines and to measure angles. Offset. This tool takes all the edges of a selected face, or a series of connected edges in the same plane, and offsets them. Text. Text can be places in your model in 2 ways. Attached to geometry of floating in spaces. Dimensions. You can add dimensions to your model to show exact measurements. Exercise number 1. Line.
Open SkeetchUp, and an empty file appear in top view. You are looking at the red-green plane, and the blue axis is pointing toward you. By default, you are in the Line tool, as indicated by the pencil-shaped cursor. Click to place the first point, not on the origin, and move the cursor to the right. Click to place the first point and move the cursor to the right. The on-red axis inference tells you that the line will be parallel to the red axis. Click to locate the second point. Because you selected Continue Line Drawing, you immediately start a new line. Locate the next point in the green direction from the last point. The next endpoint is to be located directly above the midpoint of the first line. Hover over this point. The midpoint is indicated by a cyan dot. Do not click yet. Move the cursor up in the green direction from this point, and click to place the next point. Move the cursor until you see the perpendicular inference. The preview line is magenta. The perpendicular constraint is always available relative to the last line you drew. Click for the next point, trying to maintain the general proportions shown below. Make the next line perpendicular from the last line, stopping when the red direction constraint appears. Draw the next line in the green direction. You can make new lines parallel or perpendicular to any existing line, not just the most recent line. Hover over any point along the edge shown. Similarly, press Shift when the next line is perpendicular to the previous one. Draw one more line to complete the face. To draw a rectangular vertical face, hover over the desired corner point and move down, in blue, and click when the double constraint appears. We will use a parallel constraint again. Draw a line up from the point shown. Move the cursor until the parallel inference appears. Press Shift to lock it and click the corner point. Complete the face. All edges parallel to one of the axes take on the axis color.